All right, it is media day. We are talking 11-6A with DeSoto Head Coach Claude Mathis. Coach, how are things going, man? You got a district is now an 18 district. You got rid of those Waco squads, but you bring in Skyline. Talk about how you think the district may shake out now that you got some new fresh blood in there.
Well, this district is going to be hard as usual. It's going to be very competitive as usual. It's going to be one of the toughest districts in the state of Texas, and that's something that we're used to right now. But we got the addition, like you said, we had some new schools added in our district that made it even harder, I think. So it's going to be nothing but competitive. It's some great football going on some Friday nights.
Yeah, this district is so competitive. You had to go out of state to get that non-district scheduled together because you got St. Augustine and then a team I'm pretty familiar with, the St. Francis, is coming in from Baltimore. And then you have the 5A district, the 5A Division II state titles. Talk about winners with South Oak Cliff coming. Talk about those games and what you hope to get out of it when you head into district play with those 3 non-district games.
Well, St. Augustine is going to be a really, really good ball game. I just think those guys are really good. I have a lot of respect for them. And, they're very competitive. They have a lot of great superstars that have been playing in the NBA as well as in the NFL that has played at that school right there. So a lot of respect for those guys right there. St. Francis, you may want to come coach with me then. Come give me a scouting report on those guys right there because we don't know much about those guys. I just know they're ranked number 3 in the nation in max preps right now. And they put out some dudes in the league every single year, and they're very good, very good. I think last year they were ranked number 7 in the nation. This year they come in at number 3. So, again, if you want to come give me a scouting report, I would love to take it, man. I'll tell you that right now. And South Oak Cliff, we have those guys a third ball game.
Yeah, that one's going to be something else, too. I mean, I even heard them talking about it. I was over at a commitment the other day. I heard them talking about DeSoto, and the guy said, hey, you got Duncanville, too. I said, yeah, I want to talk about DeSoto, though. So, they're ready for it. But talk about your team this year. You got I want to start at the quarterback position because you got DJ coming in there, and he may have been a secret until he started going crazy on 7-7 and throwing darts all over the place. And then he showed up at our QB competition, and he was about as accurate as you can get. He didn't come away with the win, but he certainly put a good showing out there for a junior. Was it almost a situation where, like, man, I'm glad you did so well at 7-7, but did you have to do that well? Because now everybody knows what you're all about.
Well, I think everybody already knew about DJ. I mean, that's the best quiet secret that people may say, but I don't think it's a secret at all because of things that he's been doing. I think he really was on the map when he came and played last year, but what we got was hurt the first ball game, and I think that set him back. So a lot of people didn't get to really know about him. And so that's why it was one of the best quiet secrets around here. But I think when we play Spring Westfield in the playoff game, I think it was our regional, he put on a show. I think he came in the second half and was like for 9 for 11 for 200-something yards and 4 touchdowns. So I know he's a young man that I'm glad that he's more than 7-on-7. He can sling the football around. He's a very smart young man and knows the game of football. He's been around it a long time. So just his knowledge of the game, his leadership skills, and him knowing the offense have really, really made him the guy that he is right now. So I'm glad he's doing all that. I'm glad our coaches are working with him. But a very smart young man and can sling the ball.
I want to talk a little bit about your receiver weapons that you have for DJ. I talked a little bit about how, if you can't beat him, join her. Cedar Hill, Cedric Hart comes over here, and he's a receiver now. And you also have Jonte Cook at the running back position. You got Trowick. So DJ has some weapons. But talk to us a little bit about Jonte. He's heading to Texas, and what makes him such a dynamic receiver for you?
Well, he's a kid, again, his work ethic is really, really good. I mean, he works hard. He understands what his goals are for this football season. He works on his craft all the time. And he's just a young man that loves the game of football, and that's what makes it so easy for him. I think he's a kid that understands defenses. He understands how defenses are. He understands how defenses work. And that has really made him a really, really smart ball player. And the good thing about that is it's hard to play him one-on-one. So they're going to have to probably double him and roll coverages to him, and he understands that. But he understands the game of football, and his work ethic is unbelievable.
Well, you talk about work ethic. You got a couple DBs that got a good work ethic. I wonder where they got that from. Last name of Mathis. But talk about. I mean, I'm gonna give you a chance here to gloat on your boys a little bit. They're part of a dynamic secondary you got over there. Maybe talk a little bit about those guys and some of the other guys you have in the secondary.
Well, those guys in the secondary, they're veterans, and they've been playing together for a while right now, and they're very, I should say, have a great relationship with one another, very close. Those guys, you have DeMichael Porter in the secondary, you have Jamarian Ravenellis in the secondary, you have Cayman that's in the secondary right now, you have Mario Buford that's in the secondary. I mean, you have those guys right there that are Jermaine Milliner-Jones is in the secondary. We have a lot of cats that've been together and played together, and so they're a veteran secondary that's been able to play and know one another. And I think 707 was huge for them this year because they was able to continue to talk and communicate, and especially working out the kinks of our defense when it comes to the back end. Because we have a new DC in here. I got a co-DC, which in Coach Babineau, which they're working out and getting things straightened out right now. So I think it's just them being a veteran bunch is really going to help them out.
Now you got your nemesis Duncanville over there, and they seem to have gotten you the last couple of years here in the regional finals. Talk about what it's going to take to get past them. Do you have the team that can do that, and are you looking forward to those regular season matchup and a potential postseason one as well?
Well, I definitely think we have a team that can beat anyone this year. I think we have a team that can get past that as well. I think that our guys right now is they know, they understand that it's a physicality game that we always want to play when we play those guys right there or anybody else. But we just got to put things together for us. I mean, we got to worry about us. We got to take care of our offense and our defense and our special teams in order to beat them or anybody else this year. So it's about us and just make sure we can control what we can control, and that's making sure that we can control the three phases of the game and make sure that we're successful with that.
Yeah, we talk a lot about Duncanville and Cedar Hill and DeSoto in this district, but Waxahachie's on the come up, and you got Lake Ridge that's making some noise as well. Talk about maybe some of those other teams that might be fighting for the third and fourth playoff spots if we go ahead and single you guys out to get into the postseason. Maybe some of the other teams in the district.
Well, our district again is very competitive, and I still think it's the hardest in the state of Texas. You can beat anybody on any given night, and everybody in our district is good. I mean, we don't look over anybody. I think everybody has a chance to beat anybody, like I said before. But you can. If you look over anybody, you will be beating this district right here. You have some great foes in the Mansfield teams in that district right there. And you have Waxahachie in their own district right there, but they're good. You also have Skyline. So, I mean, everybody can beat anybody at any given time. But you can't overlook anybody. Those schools are very competitive. Those coaches can coach. Great competition at all levels. And, you just got to be prepared every Friday night.
All right. I appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate you.